world's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
And Homer to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell! Deep right center field! Carrying! And it's gone! That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champions! The AAA World Series is over! What a line shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
All right, we should be live. Check, check. You can hear me, Shane?
Loud and clear.
Perfect, cool. All right, welcome everybody here. A great Tuesday evening, bringing you yet again some XBL playoff action here on the right side of the AA bracket this time. It's going to be a great matchup here this evening. We have Shamaronium joining us in the booth. Sham, how are you doing tonight, good sir?
Hey, doing great. How about you, Zlat? It's a beautiful evening.
Yeah, awesome. Doing great. Really pumped to get some more playoff baseball going. We've had a lot of games queued up here in our log, so just excited to finally continue on here. It's an exciting time, the playoffs. It's just like what we're all playing for ultimately, and we get to see it all play out here now. So we've been waiting with a lot of anticipation to get really, I guess, all leagues sort of caught up, and we're still working to do that, but definitely glad to get this series kicked off here with the rookie against Kawashi. We got the Lumineers versus the Icebirds. They actually kicked off earlier in the regular season, of course, and the Lumineers pulled out a sweep. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on any sort of tendencies that the Lumineers may have picked up, or a bit of a scouting report to see if Kawashi and the Icebirds could learn from some of those regular season woes and turn things around. This first point, key of the game, the hammer that I nail I wanted to chat about was just, their offense has started to click here in the playoffs. There is, just like any other playoff run, you're going to have peaks and valleys, but they're peaking at the right times, especially when they're needing to in the clutch games and the clutch moments. Kawashi, especially in Game 5, shutting out the number 2 seed Enemigos. I think it was 7-0. So, they put out a fairly strong showing there. And then the Lumineers, they had to go up against the tough Falcons pitching, and they came out of that ahead, putting out, obviously by winning the series, a higher offensive output. But they just did a great job of kind of picking up on their opponent's tendencies and really capitalizing on the chances that they had there. So I'm excited to see offensively what we get. You want to go into some of your points you had there?
Well, I was just going to bring up in AA, especially getting into the playoffs, these guys and gals have been playing at the same ego for a while now, unlike the regular season where there are some fluctuations, and that can definitely impact your timing, especially at the plate. They've had some time to settle into it, and at this point, the teams that are getting hot are probably the teams where the timing is really clicking, at least at bat. So, yeah, I'm not surprised the offensive output is increasing here. I mean, obviously, if these folks are moving up in the bracket, that means something's working, right? And both of these teams won a really close series last time. Both of them it went to Game 5 in the quarterfinals for both the Icebirds and the Lumineers, which means that they've had a lot of games in. They've been able to buckle down, and they clearly have something going for them right now. So we'll see if that mojo from the last game or the last series carries over here and gives them see who has more of an edge going into this one.
Yeah, I just love that we got to see, especially I guess if people tuned in to those games that may have been streamed, we got to see 2 early upsets on the same side of the bracket. So now we get the 7 and 8 seeds matching off to see, they're vying to get ahead and slot their name in for a World Series berth. I mean, that's what we love to see, especially in the Double A. There's been a lot of parity throughout the league, and so it's just kind of great to see that it doesn't necessarily matter what seed you're assigned. You just play your game and show up, and let the bats do the talking. So that's what we're going to hope to continue to see here tonight. And speaking of some of the series action, I mean, these two teams seem to really be able to show up in those late innings in close games. And so, to your point, them kind of buckling down and just kind of easing their way into the playoffs in the sense of just getting more games in, getting more comfortable with the playoff environment. I'm excited to see, do they have the endurance to continue to do that for a 7-game series? Because it's different in a 5-game setting, first to 3. Now we're looking at first to 4. If you were to go the whole distance, that's just a lot more time for your opponent to get more data and information on you, in addition to the regular season series that we already know the result from. So super, super exciting stuff. Excited to dive into it here. I think that's kind of all the quick points that I had. Any other points you wanted to jump into before we hop in the games?
No, I just want to, well, yeah, I do. One last point here. Looking at the egos, the Icebergs are at 80. The Lumineers are at 72. I've always thought of 80, like the low 80s, high 70s, as sort of like this little valley in the how much output you're getting, because a lot of people either get stuck there and then go back down in the AA, or they shoot up and then go into the AAA. So you don't see a lot of people in that little dip around 80. So I would give the Lumineers a little bit of an edge here. The low 80s can be a really rough spot for a lot of players, but they're going to get a lot of games in it, and the Icebergs have had a lot of games at 80 by this point. So we'll see if that prediction holds true or not.
Yeah, it's a great point, and it's great for you to mention that because, of course, you have your experience from last season in the AA. So, I mean, yeah, that's the kind of insight we strive to have here in the booth of the XBL. So, folks, sit tight for just a second here. I'll get Game 1 fired up, and we'll dive right in.
Fans, welcome to Founders Field.
All right.
Game 1 here at Founders Field, champ.
Love Founders Field. Hey, do we still have the music playing?
It's actually in game. Is like their menu music is fairly high, I think, for the recording.
Blasting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Genevieve hardcore. Look at that accuracy. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
They're forfeiting? No.
Yeah, maybe they had the wrong stadium. Apologies. Let me skip ahead here. You know, I could be wrong, but I thought Lumineers are the higher seed, so they should have home stadium first. But that's okay. We're just gonna roll on with what we got here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How did the seeds work in the round robin actually? Oh no, you just take the regular seed, right? Yeah. So Lumineers are 7, Icebirds are 8. Yep. So you're right.
Okay, I see Kawashi in the chat there. Sorry, you can tell I haven't looked at the video enough to try to like skip ahead or anything. So we'll just let this kind of play out here. I guess I'll get the music a little lower from the menu and we can just chat a little bit as they ease back into the game. But yeah, I mean, 7 seed, 8 seed here in the semifinals. The winner, of course, will play Prestone after taking down Simon in a 4-game sweep. That was quite a surprise for me. I did have Prestone as a dark horse to eventually win it all. That's a prediction I've made, but I was not predicting a sweep by any means. We know how coveted Simon is this season. Sort of, you know, in some ways had a season similar to you, Sham, I would say, for your AA endeavors. You know, finishing atop the standings at the end of the regular season. So it's definitely a surprise.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, you know, props to Prestone. I mean, the Pelicans came out swinging, and it's just incredibly impressive pulling off a 4-game sweep. It's really tough to get a sweep in a 7-game series. There's a lot of back and forth usually, but yeah, I can't wait to see him in the finals.
Yeah, it should be good as we got to see how his juggernaut offense there at Lafayette can really tee off on you in a hurry. And we're going to have either a Founders Field on the other side or Motor Yard, which are two completely different stadiums, and especially compared to Lafayette. So yeah, that'll be exciting to see. Got the short porch here at Founders in right field.
Yeah, quick out already here in the top of the first. Again, really high accuracy on this pitcher. That's pretty surprising.
Yeah, it is definitely surprising. Kind of goes away from the normal fold for pitching in most of the leagues. But I mean, if the Lumineers are aware of the accuracy issues, then it does make sense to, you know, try to back that up as much as you can, make it a non-issue. Just get the help from the accuracy stat, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, at 73, you don't normally see. It looks like, also speaking of which, it looks like Lumineers are playing up 1 ego. We have them at 72 in the tournament, but I see 73 here. But you know, at the lower 70s, usually you don't see too much of a need for really high accuracy.
Yeah, that's a very possible typo on my end. I think I may have referred to the regular season standings, so if there's an issue on that, my apologies. I'll fix it for the next stream out there, but yeah, it's essentially the same. You know, low 70s versus low 80s here. We're going to see Kawashi on the mound now. And I'm really interested to see how the Lumineers start the series because they are a team I played in a scrim about a month ago, and they really impressed me with their bat-to-ball skills and just like general baseball, like on-field knowledge of throwing to the right places, even attempting diddles and such that you don't really see as often at the AA level. So I'm excited to see what kind of tricks they have up their sleeves here.
Yeah, it's great to see. I have not had the chance to play the Lumineers yet, so that's something to look out for. Those base running skills and diddling can be super effective in AA, where a lot of people aren't really as experienced at how to approach them or how to defend against them.
Bit of a wild swing there. Yeah, I also have a little experience playing Kawashi in the previous cup. And so, we see a defensive blunder. That is not typical from Kawashi's defense first team. But Kawashi knows how to play some of those close games and usually is, you know, in a tight 1-2 run game headed into the later innings. That was my experience. Oh, a nice hit there over the heart of the plate. A 2-out single, get 2 runners on now at first and second. Lumineers have something going here in the first inning with the RBI hero procking now.
Very nice. By the way, Zlat, I gotta do something here. My video is super delayed on my side. I don't know what's going on.
Number 40.
And kind of sluggish. It says it's at 1440p.
I can try and do some things here on the back end. Let me know if anything improves.
Okay.
I will say the native YouTube link was recorded in 720p from the Lumineers perspective, so for quality purposes it might not be at 1080.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Discord's just having a hard time. I'm even behind Twitch.
Yeah, I think Uni's probably right, actually. I think I may have clicked on the wrong window here, so I'll try to keep up with the action as I fix some of those behind the scenes things here, but it looks like we have top of the second of a caught stealing moment there for the second out now.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is... uh-oh.
I gotcha.
I lost the stream.
Ground ball through the shortstop. That's going to be a base hit here with 2 outs.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there. Solid contact. I can kind of see now. I made my window a lot smaller, and for some reason now the video is running at normal speed. We'll see if that holds up.
Okay. Yeah, keep me posted. It's straight from the YouTube source being shared with you as well, so it's not like me watching the stream that we're putting on and then casting the stream to you. It's not any sort of convoluted setup there.
I gotcha. Cool. Well, good eye there. That was a good walk on the part of the Icebirds.
Yeah, they've got great speed on the base paths here. Swings at that curveball low, knocked down by the pitcher. Looks like they should have time to get that third and final out there at first base to end the inning. Could have been a little bit of a disaster for the Lumineers if they couldn't convert that out. Have the bases loaded with a lot of speed here at a small stadium, but they're able to get the job done, move on to the offensive side of things here now as they approach the bottom half of their batting order. Francis Jordan at the plate. Pretty meaty reticle here. Look at this thing.
Yeah, oh my. Alright, I lost it again. I am now like 20 seconds behind.
Number 45, Savannah Butcher.
So do you want to just send me a link to the YouTube video and I'll just watch it independently?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 68, Natasha Wu.
Sorry, folks. Little technical difficulties here.
Base hit.
That was a nice hit.
Right field. Yeah, nice job.
Yeah, it keeps like catching up and then I drop back and then it catches up and then I drop back.
But that's just Discord only. It's not like in the stream.
No, the stream looks great.
Okay. Nice diving catch out there in left field. That'll be the third and final out as well.
The shortstop, number 18.
Just DM'd that link there, Sham.
Yeah, got it.
Let me know when you get there. Gonna be a ball driven to the warning track in right field for the first out of the third inning here.
First baseman, number 46.
Yeah,
Just
cool.
recorded
All right,
about 14 minutes into the video for you.
Sorry, yeah, give me the number. 14 what?
Yeah, it's about 14:20 now.
14:20, okay. Let me stop watching yours. So I'll do
Quick 1-2
14:38.
count here. Pitch on the outside does not chase. Lumineers trying to see if they can nibble the zone here for a bit of a free out. Misses inside, so we go full now. Fastball's going to go off the zone, but punched back up the middle there for a nice base hit. Only one away here, entering the bottom third of their batting orders, the Icebirds. Or excuse me, just getting through the bottom third. They're back and turning the lineup over now. This is the number 2 hitter.
Oh, let's see, I'm almost there.
We're at 15:05 now.
Yeah, gotcha. There we go. I think we're within like a second or two of each other. Cool.
Our little makeshift stream behind the scenes, I guess we'll do for now.
Yeah, that works. That's a pop-up, right?
Yeah, you might be slightly ahead.
Okay. Okay, I'll
Just like pause it 2
pull it
seconds
back
or
a
so.
sec. Yeah.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 27.
All right, here. Let me know when you see the next pitch for this batter.
Yeah, we got 1 strike just pitched. We got 2nd pitch on the way.
Okay. Okay, now I think I'm slightly behind.
See the count go
We'll
2-2 here. Pickoff attempt is unsuccessful as the runner was not advancing. Pitch on the way, low in the zone for ball 3, so a 2-out full count situation. Runners on the move, ball's driven into left center field, but should be tracked down. No, it's misplayed. Oh no, the Lumineers couldn't track that one down. Ball got lost in the sun, and the Icebirds score the first run of the game here.
Yikes, that's tough. I mean, that ball looks like it should have been caught. I mean, it wasn't going to be an easy catch necessarily, but especially with 2 outs, you really have to make that play.
Yeah, and not only does the batter get on base, but a run scores from it as well. Now we have a significant lag moment mid-pitch.
Uh-oh.
Get a player screen pause here. Try to let it subside as the count is quickly 2-2. Challenging outside, swung on. That first baseman makes a great dive, but is not able to get it in the glove, and that'll be another run. So the dropped ball in center field has ultimately led to these 2 runs scoring here in the third, and the Icebirds aren't done yet. They're looking to continue putting these runs across the plate. Sends a charge into that one. Center fielder is under it and does make the catch this time for the 3rd out. So it's a 2-run inning there. Icebirds taking advantage of an opportunity just gifted to them there by the Lumineers.
Yeah, that's what winning teams do, right? You have to take advantage of the opportunities you're given. But hey, that's a quick way to get back here. A nice little double to start things off at the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, great leadoff double. You'll always take that. And look at this, a power traded first pitch traded batter. That thing is, don't let them get a bat on the ball, and they do just that as this one is sent into deep center field.
Off the wall.
Yeah, it's going to be back-to-back
wall.
doubles here for the Lumineers, so they are definitely getting things clicking here in the 3rd inning. They score their first run. It's a 2-1 ball game now.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a missed pitch there. You wouldn't really want to leave that one in the zone when somebody's got first pitch slayer, right? Like, don't give them that.
Yeah, it could be missed location, or I know some people don't tend to look at the traits of, the batters for, some reason. I don't really agree with it, but I do know some people do that, so I'm not sure if that line of thinking was shared by Kawashi, but not able to have a chance for a play at home, and it's now a tie ball game here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, great sacrifice ground out there to get another run across and get this game tied after all those misplays last half inning.
The game has sort of evened itself out as we see a chase there low in the dirt for the 3rd out. So like we said, 2 runs apiece in each half of the 3rd inning. It's a tie ball game.
Yeah, great. Some missed pitches so far, but I think both teams have done a good job of reining in the damage. I mean, things could have gone much worse in either half of the inning.
Yeah, we could maybe chalk it up to some semifinals jitters here, knowing that these games are going to be casted. some of the games were streamed in their prior round series, but being under the bright lights here, being in the booth, it's a different vibe certainly. So we're here with a tie ball game early, and a runner on first with good speed. This should be tracked down by the second baseman. Okay, yes it is. The one away now in the fourth. Getting to the bottom part of the lineup, and Kawashi runs the pitcher in the 8th spot of the batting order.
That is interesting. That's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of like a modern baseball approach as a throw to second, not in time.
Oh, wow.
Fortunately, I guess the pitcher does not have any speed, and they were still able to be thrown out. That could have been runners at first and second, another bit of a miscue defensively.
Yeah, if Kawashi, if you're watching this, I'm really curious why your pitcher is in the 8th spot in your lineup.
I'm not a wizard by any means on that stuff, but I think some of the thinking was some managers in like the MLB, for example, they will run the pitcher in that spot thinking that having like a better speed contact guy in the 9 spot is someone who can get on base for your leadoff guy, I think.
Okay.
There may be more that goes into it. Like I said, I'm not all knowing. So from what I remember seeing, that was one of the thoughts behind it.
Yeah, that's what Kawashi's saying they're doing. Yeah, I mean, not terrible. I guess that reasoning does track.
I actually ran that myself for a little while in some prior seasons. I can't say personally it had much of an impact, but I also didn't have great seasons when that happened, so could be user error a little bit there as we see single back up the middle now with only 1 out and 2 runners on. It's going to bring up the, if I'm thinking correctly, the pitcher for the Lumineers now.
Yep. Yeah, dangerous spot to be in. I'm actually kind of surprised. Oh, well, there you go. The pitcher puts the bat on the ball, and it's caught. Great diving catch. Could be 2 here, and it is a double play to end the inning. Wow. Base runners really got caught off guard there. I think I think the Lumineers thought that ball was going to drop, but that was a great dive there by the center fielder.
Yeah, there's like their eyes were bigger than their stomach on the base paths as they lost track of the center fielder having that range and fairly easily throwing out the runner at second for the double up. So great defensive moment there for the Icebirds. They get out of a bit of a jam and they look to get things going again here offensively. That'll be the first out there flying to right field, bringing in the 2-hitter, their own right fielder, up to the plate. Count goes 2-0.
Yeah, I think Lumineers need to watch their starter here. Her stats are starting to drop pretty noticeably. I'm not sure what their relief situation is, but something to consider. I was thinking actually at the last half inning that it would have been a good time for a pitch hitter, but
this one's hit hard into right field.
She's grooving, but that one's pretty deep.
Head arcs over the wall. It's a solo shot here in the middle innings from the Icebirds, taking their lead back, reclaiming it. It's a 3-2 ball game, and they're still in the heart of their lineup here as Louis Sluggerville's up to the plate.
Yeah, that's a great hit there, taking advantage of the short right field here at Founders. That was a nice line drive over the right field wall.
So solo shot there, top half of the 5th. We're going to see the Lumineers batting order turn over. It's the number 1 leadoff hitter in Pip Rhymes. Yeah, it's a good point you made about the relief pitching situation. I also don't have a deep dive on their roster, but we did noticeably see the starter approaching 75, 80 pitches, so you'd got to think that they're coming out either in the middle of next inning or, you know, certainly not going past the 6th, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless they're a low velo pitcher, you know. Some people do like the low velo strategy, pitch for weak contact. I don't think it's as effective in AA, just because at lower egos, it's a lot easier to still put solid contact on the ball when it's in the corners and when the velo is really low.
Sure, yeah. We've seen Kawashi put up 3 runs already, so that even if that was the theory, maybe it's not going to work out in this game.
Yeah, right. That one could drop here. Oh, center fielder makes it in for the second out.
Second out indeed, but crush hogwash. Oh, I couldn't even get to the stats. I saw some juicy hitting stats, but they swing first pitch in the dirt, and unfortunately for the Lumineers, that's going to be a quick third out. So we'll head now to the 6th inning, and they're going to keep the starter on the mound here to start the 6th. It's a first pitch strike. Let's see how long they can last.
Yeah, her velo's down in what, like the 20s or 30s at this point. Accuracy's around 50. This could be dangerous. Yeah, I mean, that's already a pretty solid piece of hitting, even if it only went to the shortstop. So I would be very careful with this pitcher. She would be on an extremely short leash if I'm the one throwing her right now.
Yeah, and a good amount of lefties, it seems like, for the Icebirds. So that bodes well for them with the short right field wall here at Founders, as they put this one into the grass of right field. No, it's actually caught before it drops by the right fielder for the Lumineers. Great job.
Yeah, excellent sliding catch there in right field. The timing for that is a little bit harder than it looks sometimes.
Yeah, and they do a good job backhanded stab at this one to get the third out of the top of the 6th. They're 7 hits aside, but it's a 3-2 ball game. Lumineers are chasing by 1.
Yeah, we're at the number 5 spot in the lineup with pretty low power, pretty low contact. This is an interesting build here. She does have RBI here. I don't know that that's going to matter at the moment. But not a lot of power in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, not a lot of power. Has a pretty patient eye so far, and they sit on a hitter's count. Just going to be taken care of effectively by that second baseman. Actually resulted in mojo drop for that hitter, which is rather unfortunate. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that impacts an RBI hero with those lower stats later in the game.
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't deserve a mojo drop. I mean, it was a solid hit. It just went straight to the shortstop. But I'm not the one deciding what constitutes a mojo drop. That's going to drop, though, into left field for a nice little single here.
Yep, solid piece of hitting. Just strokes it into left field. Got, I'd say, average base running speed there at first, so it's unlikely we'll see a hit and run or a steal attempt, but maybe they should
double
have,
play.
as this one's going to result in a double play to end the inning. So not much time there to work with their base runner. Swinging early in the count, unfortunately ends the inning. So top of the 7th now, and that starter is still out there, Sham.
Yeah, that is surprising. Yeah, there must be a reason. I suspect the Lumineers feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's working out for him, as it's been a couple innings since they've allowed a run, just 1 or 2 hits per inning. So they haven't necessarily been threatened in recent innings, although they're climbing now on their 94th pitch.
The Icebirds are getting contact. They're just not getting contact. Sort of a dangerous game you're playing here, but hey, maybe low contact or soft contact is what the Lumineers are also thinking.
This one's going to be skied up to the shortstop there. Going to be the second out of the 7th inning. We're getting to the later stages now, and we'll finally, oh, never mind. I got juked out by the player menu. I thought we were going to see a pitcher come out of the game, but I think they may be down in that part of the batting order where he doesn't want to burn a reliever. I think the pitcher is due up or soon due up.
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe I take back what I was saying actually earlier, because Kawashi's at 82. At that point, I think the low velo could have a pretty substantial impact on your ability to hit for power. So, hey, soft contact, easy outs. Maybe this is the strategy the Lumineers are going for.
Yeah, it could be something they've picked up to use for, the next few games in the series. Always looking to get more information and data on your opponent. We noted in the pregame the regular season went the way of the Lumineers in a regular season series sweep. So Kawashi's out for blood here, looking to get their first tally against the Lumineers this season. As there's a nice single past that second baseman. Lumineers trying to work with something here in the 7th.
Yeah, great way to start off. We haven't seen a base runner in a... Well, we've seen base runners recently, but we haven't seen any real threats. This is going to be a double play, and the inning's already over.
Oh, back-to-back inning-ending double plays for the Lumineers. A bit of a heartbreaking moment there. They're going to have to try to get it done with the top part of their batting order in the next inning. But before then, we'll see Amy Kanmochi come up here in the 8th for the Icebirds.
All right, and we got a new pitcher. Looks like an interesting arsenal. I don't know if this one has a name to it, but a lot of side-to-side movement.
A lot of side-to-side, also carrying the elite four-seamer and reverse splits. So a lot of strong traits here. I think I saw a screwball in the arsenal, so yeah, I mean, lots of movement. I mean, this guy's got everything.
That's quite the reliever. I'm very curious how much this reliever costs. I'll go ahead and pull that up in the background here.
Comes back inside. It's a line drive snag there at the hot corner. Runner's not able to advance there. So 1 out in the 8th. Great speed at first, and Louis Sluggerville has the RBI hero trait. It might get procced if the steal's successful, and it is, so we're going to see it, enabled here now to negate the reverse splits they were being impacted by.
Yeah, that's great. Great piece of running there to get the runner over to second, because that's going to result in a run here.
Yep,
and the Icebirds are going to get another one. Oh, wow. Throw goes all the way home, but the runner stays at first.
Sorry, I
That's
wasn't
you really
trying
got
to
watch out for.
cut you off. I was just so surprised to see the throw home. It didn't really have a chance, so we could have maybe even seen that slow runner get to second, which would have eliminated the double play possibility here.
Yeah, and for anyone curious, this is a 99K reliever here, which is not surprising. Just under the 100K mark. The low velo doesn't help. Elite Four Seam definitely does. Doesn't seem to be bothering the Icebirds though. We see a steal. Runner is going to retreat back to second base. I think that might have been a misclick on the part of the Icebirds.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't a double steal attempt, as that batter, I believe that was miles per hour, getting sent back to the dugout down on strikes. No, maybe not a button misclick, as they're stealing third here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, going home. Oh, what is happening?
What is going on?
Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, runners on the corners. 2 outs, 8th inning. It's a 4-2 ball game, and the Icebirds are trying to put this one out of reach if possible. It's the full pressure meter situation, as the count now is 3-0.
Yeah, was that an attempted diddle? I think that might have been an attempted diddling.
Yeah, they may have been trying to induce one, but it's not going to matter as this one drops into right center field. That's going to score 1. Not enough speed on the trail runner, so runner holds at second. That'll be first and second. 2 outs. It's now a 5-2 ball game, and we're going to see a pinch hitter here for the Icebirds.
Yeah, oh, and we see another pitcher pull here. We've got Hurley Reyes, 45K pitcher. Decent arsenal, middle of the road stats here, but the SPRP is going to get the 3rd out, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. No more damage done, but the Icebirds are at 5, and Lumineers have 2. I do like the Icebirds' little logo in the score bug at the top of the screen. That's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's always cool to see people kind of have a different one for like the score bug, which I believe is pulled from like your hat logo on like in your team's in-game thing. So it's always fun to see those little details.
It is. I appreciate it. This league has a lot of creativity when it comes to the uniforms. Should do something like everybody chips in and gets, whoever wins the league, they get a shirt from that custom company that you got yours from.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I had asked Snowbird. We'll get back to that in a second. This ball's charged into right field. It's actually tracked down at the warning track. I had thought for a second it was going off the wall. It sounded
good. It looked
good.
I thought that might have gone.
Yeah, we'll We'll save that for the in-between games maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm happy to talk about it here at some point. But we have 2 outs, nobody on. This one is going to be skied to that shortstop and should easily be caught there to end the 8th inning. Icebirds looking to add insurance here in the top of the 9th. 5-2, game 1.
All right. Icebirds have a chance to pull ahead. A 3-run lead is nice, but you know what's nicer is a lead that is greater than 3 runs. So I'm sure the Icebirds want to do some damage here. So far, good eye against Reyes. Reyes has kind of a typical up and down arsenal. Oh, that's going to be a nice dive by the third baseman to get the first out.
Yeah, great play, great arm there from third base, and they had to get up in time to make that throw. It was pretty good speed from the runner as well, so all around great defensive play there. Going to continue to see this one traced into left field. Shouldn't reach the warning track. It's easily caught there for the second out now. We'll see the 2-spot hitter come up yet again for the Icebirds. They'd love to get a base runner here.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 outs means you're still alive. Quick 1-on-1 count here. Looks like a forkball going low and in, and that's going to be driven down the middle for a single. So the Icebirds still have a chance to add on to their lead.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 27.
Brings up Angelus Saturn. Going to also produce the 3 out of 4 pressure meter there, which could matter as we see this one carried high and deep to right field. It's tracking just shy of that wall for the third out. So no insurance to be had for the Icebirds there. They look to close things out here in the 9th as the Lumineers are trailing by a score of 5-2. The 5-spot hitter is up, and they are really kind of struggling. This batter is tense, and their stats show it. There's not much to work with, but that won't matter. Lumineers, they don't care. They're going to get a nice little leadoff single in the right field, get that mojo back to neutral, and with their leadoff base runner, hope to score some runs as Francis Jordan steps into the box.
Yeah, Lumineers have some speed at first, too. We could see a steal. That ball is in the air, and it drops. The runner's going to go to third. So the Lumineers are chipping away, or have a chance to chip away here. Nobody out. Runners on first and third. We are 1 or 2 hits away from a tie ball game.
Yeah,
I don't want to get ahead of myself, though.
Yeah, the tying run is at the plate. They have a quick 0-2 count, triggering that whiffer trade, so their contact is absolutely shot here. And they have hit into quite a few double plays this game. I want to say at least 2 that we know of. That's not going to come into play here. This ball is in the gap of right center field. The throw to third is cut off. So there's runners yet again at the corners. It's now a 5-3 ball game. Tying run at first. I'm not sure if they have a pinch runner, but now would be the time to bring them on, as they have the 8-spot hitter Natasha Wu, who has great contact, or well, good enough contact with that contact trait here. Count is now quickly 0-2. Good eye to see that one inside and miss the zone.
Yeah, great eye.
No outs yet this inning. Oh, but he swings.
Ooh. Oh, sending home.
Oh my!
No.
Disaster as he sent the runner from third on the drop third strike. I'm sure they meant to send that runner from first to third. I have to think it was just a misclick, but that results in a gut-wrenching double play now here in the 9th.
Oh, that is brutal. That really takes the wind out of your sails. I was going to say, the Lumineers had the momentum going in their way. They got a lot of hits off low stat players, but that's going to end it here.
Yeah.
Man, that was a tough way to lose there for the Lumineers, but great game overall.
Yeah, grounder there to second to end it. I think they're going to be thinking about that one and wish that they kind of had it back to run, but we'll have to see how they carry on in game 2 here. Yeah, man, there's a lot of ways you could talk about how the game 1 ended there. That was not your typical ending to a ball game.
Yeah, not by a long shot. That was, there were a couple moments on the base path that were surprising. we saw a couple steals that I don't know if folks meant to, but yeah, it really comes back to bite you there. That's the kind of thing that you really have to clamp down on as you move up in the leagues. It could be the jitters, it could be the nerves of just, being in the semifinals here. Obviously, both teams are, doing their best to win. And under the bright lights, things can get a little hectic, right? So, but it's, hey, a 7-game series, so there's plenty of time for the Lumineers to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get right into the Game 2 action here, folks. Give me just a second to swap some things over, and we'll get Game 2 fired back up here. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for dealing with the amateur casting here. We've had a little shuffle of things as Discord's not cooperating for us to have a synchronized viewing experience between Shem and I. So we are live back here into Game 2. We get to see the first out there in the left field.
Yeah, good to be back. That was a fun first game, and now we get a chance. We get to see the Lumineers have a chance to come back and tie this series up 1-1. All right, where are we? Are we at?
We're at Motor Yard.
Motor Yard.
House. Yes.
All right. It's a nice stadium. It also has kind of a classic feel to it.
I love this stadium. I've just been robbed by the elongated wall in right center field too much. It's taken away too many of my my home run potential, so that's why I choose not to play here. But I really love the aesthetics of the stadium.
Well, it's also got that triples alley in left center too, which I think has hurt me many times.
Yeah, it's definitely a deeper part.
Speaking of which.
Oh my.
Yeah, wow. That was a great blast there. Over the deepest part of the wall for a home run. And the Lumineers are back with a vengeance, going up 1-0 in the first.
A quick 2-run inning to lead the game off here in Game 2. Yeah, the Lumineers looking out for blood as they sort of tragically ended Game 1 the way it did. This one's carrying back, and that one's gone as well, Sham. We have a 3-run inning here to lead off Game 1.
That's a great way to start the game if you're a Lumineers fan. Clearly something is clicking for them at the plate at the moment. They're seeing these pitches really well because those were two well-struck balls, even with 2 outs. So nice 3-0 is a great way to start the game. We go to the bottom of the first, see if the Icebergs can strike back.
Yeah, 3 hits, 3 runs. Can't ask for much more than that to start a game.
Yeah, efficiency, right? 98 power here. I don't think it's going to be deep enough. Going to get caught by the center fielder. I think we're synced up. We're doing the 2 video thing again there, folks.
Yeah, you may be just a slight small hair ahead. If you want to do like a double tap your space bar, maybe that should get us perfectly aligned. But
I just did that.
Yeah, Discord just kind of not cooperating this evening, and for whatever reason, so we'll go with the multi-viewing experience behind the scenes. It all works the same here as we see the Icebergs slice one into left field there. Only 55 power on the meter there. That'll be the second out of the first inning.
Yep. It's actually kind of fun. So I've got Twitch open next to YouTube here watching it. And I was exactly 1 pitch ahead for a few seconds. Like the Lumineers have a very consistent pace here with their pitching. I thought I was like totally missynced, but it just synced up perfectly. But that's going to be the third out here. Strikeout, and the Lumineers are ahead going into the top of the second, 3-0. This is the time where we get to see how the Icebergs changed their approach, because clearly what they were doing in the first wasn't working. But that does, with a nice little ground out to short here, 1 out.
Yeah, I'd say I picked up in the first game that the Lumineers at times were taking nice deep counts and being patient at the plate, and other times they were chasing at pitches way out of the zone. And I got to think that it's due to a lot of junk pitches, such as the slider and even the curveball, just impacting the way the ball's coming in. So looked for Kawashi to try and throw a lot more of those. That one's way out of the zone as well, and he gets him to chase.
Yeah, that pitch was not close. So Lumineers may need to think a little bit more about those deep counts and keeping a good eye. But that's an 0-2 count. Could make him a little jumpy here. Let's see. Oh, that gets through the pitcher's legs for a single with 2 outs.
Yeah, Lumineers, like I said, at times are having great at-bats with good patience, not chasing much. So I gotta think it's junk or maybe velo related, but we haven't seen any crazy velo come out of the Icebergs that I can recall here, as this grounder is gonna end the inning. So they'll continue to try to shake things up at the plate, although they had everything working perfectly in the first inning with the 3 runs that they put across. So they have a bit of a cushion to work with. It's the Icebergs who are chasing here in their home stadium. This one's sent to deep right field. At the warning track, right fielder eventually gets there on the run. Backhanded grab to get that first out.
Yeah, nice catch. That's one of those you kind of wish you pulled it just, or I guess sliced it just a little bit more, because that would have been a home run closer to the line. Especially with that straight wall there in right field. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So we have a runner on with 1 out. Are we still synced up, or am I ahead?
It sounds like half a pitch ahead if I had to try to gauge it.
All right, I just paused and unpaused again. I'll try not to spoil anything.
No, it's been okay so far, but yeah, I think it was about a half pitch or so. It should be good now here. We just got to swing on strike 2. Looking at the next pitch, swinging down on strikes there, miles per hour. He'll go back to the dugout and try to find his adjustment as we see Mario Supremo enter the box now. Stares at that first pitch strike. Chasing the outside pitch there. Quickly now 0-2 here with 2 outs. Icebergs do have a base runner to work with.
Yeah, base runner doesn't have a lot of speed, not that it really matters. Oh, that's going to be a nice hard hit ball that should drop into right field. Oh, great catch by Hogwash to end the inning.
Get a nice little mojo boost as well from that.
Yeah, that looks like it was going to drop, but that was a great dive by the right fielder. Icebirds are back on the mound. 2-1 count. Drops a curveball. It looks like it's going to go foul. Little ground out there. It looks like both teams are kind of settling in on the mound. And we're seeing some pretty quick 1, 2, 3 innings here.
Yeah, the occasional base runner, right? After that first inning, the 3 runs of the game, and then nothing since then. It's been locked down a bit on the mound. The defense bailing them out occasionally, as we saw in the previous half inning there to end the inning. It was that nice sliding catch by the right fielder. This one arced over that shortstop. It should be a nice 1-out single here.
Yeah, I've noticed the Lumineers chasing a little bit more than earlier in the game or last game on some outside pitches. So probably needs to work on their eye a little bit. You might just be getting excited. After getting those home runs in the first, your eyes get big and you want more of them.
Yeah, we see a 3-0 count on this big hack batter. Now 3-1. They still have that trade active and a bad ball hitter. Plenty of power, but they don't swing. Didn't like it. Gonna see the full count. Chase, it's gonna be low. Second baseman only play at first, so it does advance the runner. A little surprised we didn't see them pull the trigger during that at bat more with those trades active, though.
Yeah, I'm also surprised. I think they probably thought that was a ball there, the one that came in for strike 2. But hey, that's great pitching to keep the ball on the edge and keep the Lumineers guessing. And the Icebirds finish it off here with no damage done. Still haven't gotten a hit.
Yeah.
Well, the Lumineers have 6 going into the bottom of the third. Icebirds don't have any hits yet.
Yeah, Icebirds chasing their first hit. Pitcher trying to get it done, and the shortstop doesn't come up with it. I think that'll be scored as a hit there, so right on cue. The no-hitter bid in the third inning is now broken up.
Yeah, right on cue. Yeah, and the scorekeeper is telling me that it was scored as a hit.
And we have Metalhead right here in our ear letting us know.
Yeah, I'm on the line with EA. They're telling me about this. I'm going to call their customer support and complain too.
Yeah, let me say a couple other things to them while they're here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you guys know how to run a blankety-blank server?
The first pitch changeup nicely caught the outside part of the zone. Third pitch there is going to be swung on and misplayed by the right fielder. Disaster. You hate to see that. We're going to see runners now at second and third. No, he's going to send him home. Third base coach is waving the whole way. Icebirds get their first run of the game on a defensive mishap yet again from the Lumineers.
Yeah, I think there were 2 mishaps. I mean, obviously missing the ball, that's no fun. But the second one was just that weak throw into second. That runner was rounding third when the outfielder had the ball. I think a hard throw to home would have kept that runner at third.
Yeah, it totally changes the landscape of the inning now here. There's only 1 out, runner at second. So, of course, they're in scoring position. And that means the tying run is now at the plate. We saw Amy Kenmochi, I want to say she homered last game, or she at least had a couple hits. This at bat's not going to go her way there. It's going to be a pop out to center. Throw over to third is good enough, or seemingly good enough, so the runner stays at second base, unable to advance. I know Angela Saturn certainly had that solo shot in game 1. She's in the box now.
Yeah, big hack on the outside pitch there. Ooh. Change up, low and in. Got a 1-2 count. I'll always look at this arsenal and think about burning ice. I'm not sure what the name for this one is, but for me it's just the burning ice arsenal. You get all those breaking pitches. But good job by the Lumineers to minimize the damage there after giving up a run on a defensive misplay.
Yeah, that inning could have certainly spiraled deeper and erased their lead that they've worked so hard in that first inning for. They're able to retain a 2-run lead here as we see a 2-1 count now on Savannah Butcher, who has rather even stats across the board. She's going to ground out seemingly to the shortstop there. But yeah, I mean, it's a I don't even know if I'd say underrated. It's just a necessary part of the game to find yourself in situations that, you know, you're disadvantaged, whether it's because you had your own human error, your own blunder defensively, or maybe the game RNG sometimes doesn't go your way. But you're going to find yourself in those positions where you feel like you should have done better. You still got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and come back to get the remaining outs. There's a nice ball. It's going to sneak into center. The center fielder dives. It bounces off their character. But yeah, it looks like the runners are going to hold up there. We did not have quite enough speed to advance, although the double play is not in effect here as that runner was able to go to second. So second and third, one out. Lineup is turning over now. It's the one hitter who has sprinter and bunter. They attempt to bunt and set the runners. Oh, they run into the second out. That is another blunder.
Yikes. And that's going to be an easy third out to end the inning. Man, huge opportunity there. Not, I like the idea to bunt that runner in, but man, you really got to bunt, right? Or be ready to call that runner back. I think that could have been a diddle situation with some advanced base running techniques. That's deep.
Deep right field. It's a high wall, but the ball's definitely going to surpass it as there's a solo shot to right. Louis Sluggerville living to her name there. It's a solo shot, 392, and it's a 3-2 ball game now.
Yeah, that was a blast. I heard that one all the way down in Kentucky. Big bomb there to bring things within one here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, that just still kind of drives the point that we were chatting about before to end the inning. I empathize with the missed bunt because I do that so many times, or I'll make contact, but the ball is literally at my head. As this one sent to left field, we're going to have back-to-back solo shots here for the Icebergs at home in the fourth inning. It's a tie ball game, folks.
Oh, wow. Icebergs coming back here with a vengeance, going to right field, then left field, back-to-back. Barbara Velo's still looking pretty good on the mound there, but I think the Luminaires might need to make sure they're not leaving these pitches over the heart of the plate.
Yeah, and Kawashi doing a great job getting just really great reticles on those pitches there. So I know Kawashi is very capable of the long ball here at Motor Yard. I experienced it myself, and I've seen it time and time again in the regular season and the playoffs now. So this is not too surprising.
Ooh. Chase that slider inside, though. That surprise slider can be pretty effective, I think. Starting to see more people use the slider, which I think is exciting.
Yeah, I think
that one's going to get popped up.
It's absolutely a devastating pitch in the AA and often the AAA. For whatever reason, in the XBL, it's kind of like you really don't ever see a slider. There's just something about the timing where it's kind of like a cookie pitch. So for whatever reason, it's not seen up there too much. But I certainly recall my own days and these kind of egos hating the slider because it felt so like knuckleball-y sometimes. Like it's just hard to pick up the tracking of it. And that can definitely mess with batters.
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of a high risk, high reward, because if you miss, it's bad. That ball's going to get crushed. But when applied effectively, you can do some damage with it. Keeps people guessing, that's for sure. Oh, I can't believe that was a ball.
2-1 count. This is a bit of a dangerous pitch, and it's going to be swung on and sent to deep center field. Miles per hour sprinting at the wall. A great diving grab. Crashes into the wall, but he comes up with it, and that's going to be the first out here. What a play there from Kawashi.
Wow, comes up with a ball and a concussion sliding into the wall there. That was an incredible dive. Excellent defensive play on the part of the Icebergs there. That was a 100 IQ, 200 IQ play there to make that dive.
Perfectly timed. Really got that ball at the last moment. This one, unfortunately for the Icebergs, not going to be catchable. It's going to be a single through the middle infield. It's going to be one out now with the runner on first, and we are going to see this bad ball hitter Big Hack yet again. Swinging first pitch. That's going to be a double play. Lumineers find themselves hitting another one. There was quite a few in game one. Quite a few heartbreaking double plays. This time, the ball game is at least tied, but it does end their top half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, the Icebirds have been efficient so far. They've got 3 runs on only 4 hits. Goes to show long ball is very helpful. That's my advice for the day. You can quote me on that. Home runs are good.
Bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good eye to keep that bat behind the plate. The count goes 2-2 here. Now make that a full count. Looking for their pitch. Comes in the outer half of the plate. As a good swing. It's going to challenge the center fielder. An early slide, but they still come up with it. Maybe a showboat play. As I'm not sure they needed to slide, but they do get a mojo boost.
They look good. I mean, if it was a showboat play, it was perfectly applied. Credit where credit is due.
And Metalhead rewarded them with the mojo boost. This one swung on, slightly misreticled, resulting in a very routine play there in center field.
No slide this time, but we do get our second out. Amy is back up, looking dangerous as always at the plate. She's got a .395 average with 3 home runs so far in the playoffs. I mean, that's pretty respectable.
Velo.
So she's pretty aggressive there, swinging at the inside fastball. Uh-oh.
Gets all of that one. 99 on the power meter. Kiss it goodbye. It's in the bullpen of left field, and the Icebirds now have a lead in this game, 4-3.
Yeah, wow. It looks like my advice was taken by the Icebirds. That was a home run, and that was good for their score. So, no, that was a great piece of hitting there. Amy Kenmochi is not somebody you want to leave a ball in the zone to. She will definitely punish that. So that's her 4th home run, it looks like, in the playoffs, and that brings up Angela Saturn, who's also hitting .390 in the playoffs with 3 home runs. Again, looking dangerous. These number 2 and 3 spots in the Icebirds lineup aren't messing around.
Just getting under that one, though. Fans on it for the 3rd and final out. So the Icebirds have scored in 3 straight innings. As we said, they have the lead now in this game. It's 4-3. Lumineers looking to get things going again. Been pretty quiet since that 1st inning.
Yeah, I mean, they've put the bat on the ball, that's for sure. A little unlucky, but they're making contact. Seems like they don't quite have their timing down, but they've still got a lot of time left. And being down a run is not a bad place to be in the 6th inning. And that's going to be a nice single here. So the Lumineers are very much still in this. I think if they can lock in and get some balls to land, this game is going to look very different here very quickly.
Yeah, it's worth noting they did have that situation with runners on 2nd and 3rd and a sprinter-bunter combo at the plate. Unfortunately, they whiffed on the bunt, and it was a bit of a suicide squeeze as the runners were both advancing. So they sort of ran themselves out of that inning. I believe the next inning was a double play to end it, and so that finds themselves here now with 1 out, runner on 1st. And they will take strike 3 for out number 2. Nice pitching there from Kawashi and the Icebirds. That's going to bring up Natasha Wu, the 8th spot for the Lumineers.
And that's going to be it. Yeah, I feel like this is the time when the Lumineers really need to buckle down, wait for their pitch. I think on some of these little weak groundouts, they're swinging at the first pitch they see, instead of letting the count go deep. They probably just need to take a deep breath and show a little bit more restraint there, because there will be pitches down the zone. Just like that one for the Icebirds. That's going to be a double here to start things off in the bottom of the 6th.
Leadoff double indeed. RBI hero trade on the batter, but no opportunity to use it. Doesn't matter. Now we see the left fielder has a home run on the day. Juso Sutaroberi, I believe. I'm just totally winging that, assuming that's how it's pronounced. So we see a reliever come in. James Ford is going to retire the aching starter whose velo had been notably down for quite some time. induces a comebacker, knocked down by the pitcher, and no play at first. Unfortunate for the Lumineers. So runners at the corners now, nobody out.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of lag on my end. That's really unfortunate for the pitcher there. Ford's throwing no heat on the mound, but decent, well, middle junk, high accuracy, pretty big arsenal. Oh, that could be dangerous. That's a drop, third strike. Runner stays at first. We still have the double play in the realm of possibility here.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see a backwards K strikeout. With this velo, this bunt attempt is thrown in the air and wasn't sure where to throw it. Throws to second base. I'm not entirely certain they would have gotten the double play, but we'll never know, I suppose, since they didn't throw it to either occupied base. So we now find ourselves here with 2 outs. Runners are still on the corners, and a pinch hitter comes in. James Almonds has that off-speed hitter trait.
Yeah. Wow. That was rough. That was a rough sequence for both teams there. We see the missed opportunity to take second and then the missed opportunity to pick off the runner at first. I think they may be getting a little focused and missing some of the bigger picture situational stuff here, but that's going to be the 3rd out. So the score is going to stay the same despite opportunities for it to have changed in that last half inning.
Yeah, it goes to show how bunting is not a guarantee. There's certainly still some skill needed and necessary for successful bunts. We've seen on both sides, both teams this game having some bunting issues, so I'm sure they're going to hit the practice mode a little bit and try to calibrate their bunting reticles, as we're going to see a grounder here to start off the 7th with the first out.
Yeah, the bunting reticle is kind of weird. I feel like it's in a weird spot. Like, I want it to line up with the bat more. I find myself watching the bat and not the reticle when I try to bunt sometimes.
Yeah, it does kind of slide. If you move the cursor up and down, you'll notice like how it shifts on the spot of the bat. But of course, it's notable that bunting like boosts your reticle size. So just something to kind of play around with whenever you get a chance in practice mode.
Yeah. Absolutely worth the practice.
See, strike 2 fouled away. It's a 1-2 count. Bit of a quick inning here for the Lumineers. Swinging, and shortstop just barely unable to grab that. It's a 2-out single now. Pressure meter is notable there. 3 out of 4 bars. We're going to see Layla Sweeney enter, procking the Ace Exterminator trait. So look at all this power to work with now.
Wow. This is a great time to have that trait. Yeah, Lumineers really need to make this half inning count.
Kawashi.
Good eye so far.
Yeah, I was just going to say Kawashi's nibbling the inside part of the zone, not able to get a call, goes back to that outside corner, seems to be their specialty, inducing ground balls. We see yet another one to end the inning. We'll go bottom of the 7th, a quick stretch. Icebirds hoping to add some insurance here on their 1-run lead.
Yeah, we see the reliever come in, Hurley Reyes again, with up and down arsenal. For a second I thought this was the one with Elite 4-seamer, but it is not.
Right.
But pick officer and rally stopper, not a bad idea right now, though nobody's on base.
This
Ball's
one
hit really hard.
Yeah, fortunate that it stays in the yard, and maybe even more fortunate it goes straight to a fielder there for the 2nd out.
Yeah, very fortunate for the Lumineers there. That ball could have gone anywhere, including outside of the ballpark, but it does stay in and gets caught for the 2nd out. We got Amy Kenmochi again, who went yard last at bat. Last time she was up. 409 average now and 4 home runs in the playoffs. She swings at a high and outside pitch for the 3rd out.
So top of the 8th here, entering the part of the lineup for the Lumineers that is no stranger to home runs. There's a couple of solo shots between them here with Crush Hogwash, like we've mentioned a couple times, that bad ball hitter trait and the big hack trait. 2 power-friendly trades. Struggling to make contact in the recent at-bats, though. K-Collector activated. We're going to see a slider come in on the hands, and that's going to be muscled through the middle infield. It's a leadoff single.
Yeah, great way to start the inning for the Lumineers. They really need to make this count, though. We're at the top of the 8th. Pressure meter is juiced. This is the time to tie this game up and then go ahead in the 9th. We have a K Collector now on this pitcher activated. Oh, good idea to steal. Yeah, with the hit and run. That does pay off because that would have been a double play otherwise.
Yeah, preserves the what would be game-tying run there at second base with good speed. You got to think most base hits would score that runner. This one, a lot of foul territory here at Motor Yard, and it comes into play there as that'll be the second out now here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, I was just about to say that batter had clutch activated. That would have been a great time to take advantage of it. Well, that's going to get through. Oh, no, it does not, but the runner's fast enough. We got runners at first and third with 2 outs. This batter is not looking great. She's tense. But let's see if she can get a hit and drive in the tying run. Oh, that's not it.
Yeah, unfortunate reticle placement there is not what the Lumineers needed, and that squanders a situation yet again with runners in scoring position. So they stay at 3 runs through 8 innings. All 3 of their runs came in that first inning. Just a quick jump, couple of solo shots, and haven't really seen a ton of base running from them aside from the mentioned moments of the bunting inning, I guess we can refer to it as, and then that one there. Maybe even seen a double play or 2 throughout the game, but they're going to have to look to the 9th inning to get things done as before they can get there. Navigate through this part of the lineup of the Icebirds, who's been hitting quite well. We see a home run earlier in the game from this batter, and they have a runner on base here.
Yeah, well, I was going to say at the end of the last inning, I mean, that weak ground ball was symptomatic of an early, swinging at a pitch early in the count, right? Like, I think the deeper the Lumineers are getting into the count, the more damage they're doing on offense. So I think they just need to take a deep breath and lock it down here. But they're clearly doing that on defense because we've got 2 outs at the bottom of the 8th. Looks like this pitcher is Reuven here. That ball should be caught. And it is for the 3rd out, taking us to the top of the 9th. It is now or never, do or die for the Lumineers. They've got to score here. Otherwise, the Icebirds are going to go ahead 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, we see the pinch hitter come in for that reliever, so looking for a leadoff hit. That's not going to do it, though. Right to the second baseman, routinely taken care of. Moves us on to the 1-spot leadoff hitter in Pip Rhymes, still searching for their first hit this game.
Yeah, if you're a Lumineers fan, you're hoping that they get one right now. That was a missed pitch down the middle. That would have been a great one to swing at. Change up there. You got a 1-2 count. Bunter trait is not going to help out here. Let's see, hard hit ball, but right to the left fielder for the second out.
Seems the Lumineers' last and final hope may come down to Aubrey Plow to try to preserve and extend this game. Going to see the closer come in for the Icebirds. Look at those stats. 103 on the radar. Sheesh.
Oh my. Look at that velocity. She is juiced.
Yeah, Kenny Powers going off with the wild thing and the high radar. Look at the heat hitting the catcher's mitt at 103. 2-2 count. Slider inside. It gets the zone. Umpire's going to dance on you out of the stadium. It's an Icebirds victory here to tie the series 1-1.
You mean go up 2?
Oh, excuse me. My apologies. Yeah. Oh, I totally just whiffed that. Jeez. I was looking at it backwards for some reason. But yes, you corrected me indeed, Sham. It's a 2-0 series lead for the Icebirds. My apologies.
No, that was great. Hey, that was a fun game. The Lumineers came out swinging. They looked really hot there in the first inning, but could not continue that momentum moving forward. It felt like it was one of those games where you're like up against an invisible wall, like there's like a mental block and just getting one more run across, and it's just not a barrier that you're able to cross before the last pitches or the last out is made, right?
Yeah. Apologies there to Kawashi. Sorry I got the series count wrong. Like I said, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, we just saw those great 2 games there, and Icebirds take a nice series lead. So, yeah, some great points you made there at the end as well. We saw the Lumineers have a lot of heart. They were in both of those games for much of the way. So I'm excited to see how the rest of the series can play out there. We did see some moments where both players could probably, if they're rewatching this, they can kind of say, all right, like I got some things I can work on. I can definitely improve, but I still played a relatively solid game throughout. So great, impressive showing from both of those guys here this evening.
Yeah, they both played well. Those were fun games to cast. They were fun to watch. I think you're absolutely right. They both showed a lot of heart there. They both had their moments. But yeah, if they are reviewing this game, my biggest piece of advice to both of them is just, maintain your situational awareness. Where are the runners? How many outs are there? What are your opportunities to, advance your runners or pick somebody off, because there are a couple opportunities on both sides that were missed. And I think in a tight game like this, that absolutely would have changed the score line. So it pays to pay attention, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's, the nature of baseball. All those little moments definitely add up throughout the game, and so I'm sure they are, well aware of their situation, and they still played some great baseball out there. We got to see a lot of home runs there, especially in game 2. I lost track. We had at least 2 in that first inning. We saw at least, I want to say, 3 from Kawashi throughout their half of the game, so a lot of firepower and fireworks going off there in game 2. I'm excited to see what we get for game 3. Maybe even if the house is listening, if there's some prop bets for home runs, that might be something that could be notable or worth looking into for the remainder of the series here. But like we said, great showings from both of them there. Got a great start to the series. We have a couple games as well to get casted from them, and after that happens, we'll get a more clear look at the landscape for the series and see where things stand. Of course, we have some AAA series that we would love to get going. Those players are working hard to get things worked out. It sounds like some technical difficulties for some of them, so we're awaiting some updates to get that action brought to everyone here. We do plan to get, I believe, games 3 and 4 between Teflon and Eduardo have been played, so we plan to get those out to you guys as soon as we can. Just keep your ears and eyes peeled out in the announcements channel. But other than that, Sham, do you have any final words here before we depart this evening?
No. Well, yes, I do. I don't know why I started a sentence with no, but yes, I do. I just want to thank Kawashi and EvilBeachTowel for recording those games. Those were a lot of fun to cast, and appreciate them moving the AA playoffs along. Because this has been a long season, and it's really exciting now that we're getting down to the end, and can't wait to see how it goes. I think the Lumineers are still very much in this, and it's still anybody's series, so appreciate them.
Yeah, absolutely. Echo everything you said, and guess we'll call it there, folks. Keep an eye out in the Discord channels, like I mentioned, for the other upcoming games and broadcasts, and for now, have a great rest of your evening.
Bye, everyone.